Newcastle Fans TV. I'm here with Kyle. Newcastle have just beaten Everton 3-2. We were 2-0 down, if you didn't know. 3-2 winners at St James's Park. It's the player ratings time. We're going to do a quick rating for Lee Mason. Kyle, I'll let you have the pleasure.
Lee Mason, well, comments below, what do you rate Maz? I rate him at -6. Piss poor, giving away dodgy fouls. Pickford should have been off, Zuma should have been off. Shocking, mate, absolutely shocking. Bring on VAR next season.
-6 out of 10 for Lee Mason there. Let's go to the real players, actually the ones that deserve all the credit today. Martin Dubravka, I'll start with. Kyle.
Yeah.
You know, 2 goals, you couldn't really do anything about the goals, they weren't actually his fault. Didn't really have many other shots at him, but he did okay, didn't he?
He done nothing but hit the ball out the net, mate. That's all he did, honestly.
A couple of crosses from free kicks.
He took a couple of crosses well, but other than that, mate, he didn't really do much, which is probably a compliment to how our defence played in the second half.
I'm not going to be too harsh on Dubravka. I'm going to go 7 out of 10 because he can't do anything about the 2 goals. Yeah. I'll let you start with the right back, because I always forget. DeAndre Yedlin, right wing back rather.
He had a mixed one, didn't he? He had a piss poor first half.
Is that not the same with every defender?
Yeah, we could just repeat it for the sake for every defender, but in the first half he was horrible, but in the second he drove forward, and I think when he was made right back, it gave him a lot more freedom. Somehow he just drove forward, he got a couple of balls into the box, and honestly, yeah, I'd give him a 7 out of 10. Yeah, solid.
Fabian Schär right next to him. I think he's probably the best out of the 3 in the second half. But again, first half, if you've got to assess it, they were all piss poor. You know, they really were. I love the passion. He just tries to force a pass a little bit too much.
Yeah. I mean, his passing in the first half left a lot to be desired. He kept giving it away, and he kept trying to do too much, as if to say he's trying to attack too much, a bit like Steven Taylor used to. But
he's better than Steven Taylor.
He's a lot better than Steven Taylor, but Steven Taylor used to try and take the ball forward and score goals and be the hero in that. But no, I think a 7 would be fair.
Yeah, I was going to go 7 out of 10 Fabian Schär, because again, you've got to try and look at it as, obviously it's a fantastic result, fantastic victory, but look at both sides of the coin essentially. Yeah. For the captain Jamal Lascelles only played a half.
Rightly so.
Mixed bag, wasn't it?
I thought Lascelles was really poor today. I'm Lascelles' biggest fan on this channel. I love Lascelles, but today I think he got torn apart.
Richarlison was causing a lot of problems, wasn't he?
Richarlison really put him to the sword today, and you could tell. He nearly got himself sent off. Lascelles, fake clapping the referee. I mean, don't get us wrong, the referee deserved more than that because he was piss poor, but at the end of the day, Lascelles nearly got himself sent off for that, so I'd give Lascelles a 5. 5? Yeah.
That's been generous.
Day, definitely.
Next in Florian Lejeune, I'm going to go again 7 out of 10 because defensively, he's probably our best out-and-out defender, like Lee says, but I don't know. He can't really give much more than a 7 because yes, second half they defended very well. Sigurdsson was one that putting all the balls in the box, and he dealt with him as well as he could do in the second half. In
the first half, I thought Lejeune played the better of the defenders. He put a couple of tackles in and that, and I'd give him an 8 if it was me, but if you want to stick with a 7, I wouldn't argue.
I'm going to go with 7. I don't think any of the defenders deserve much more than a 7. Penalty missed for the first time for Newcastle was Matt Ritchie, left wing back. It's so difficult to take, isn't it? Because against Pickford, you'd rather miss him against like Ali Al-Habsi from Wigan or something like that back in the day. But no, it was Jordan Pickford who got a bit of limelight with that one. But we'll talk about him in the review.
Well, he got a bit of limelight, Pickford, for the right and wrong reasons, as it turned out. But Ritchie, I thought Ritchie played okay actually. I didn't think he deserved to be taken off, but Rafa was justified. Next for Kennedy did well for once, but yeah, I think Ritchie 7.
Midfield, I'm going to start with Isaac Hayden. He puts a foot in when he needs to, and he does win the ball back, which is great to see. You know, UEFA has designated one midfielder to be a bit more defensive and one midfielder to be a bit more attacking. And if you look at the defensive part of the job, in the second half he did well. The first half, you know, he was injured for one of the goals, so you can't really put any fault or any blame on that. So I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I think you might get a lot of repetitive stuff until we probably get towards the forwards. Partnering him, remember Sung-Yueng, Kyle?
I thought Key was poor. I really do. I didn't think. I thought in the first half, by God, we missed Longstaff. He just seemed to be a lot slower. But I think that's expected because of how long he's been out. But he just looked a bit slower than he usually is, and he usually gets the ball, brings it forward a lot quicker, and Everton read him very quickly in the first half. And when he went off, you could tell the difference.
He gave the ball away so many times as well.
He did. I think it was Key's worst performance in a Newcastle shirt, actually, mate. I'll give him a 5.
Miguel Almiron, you've got a nice one coming up. Miguel Almiron. He had John Joe Kenny in a wrap, like literally twisting and turning, and just couldn't keep up with him at times. And he did have the better of him, I thought.
He was the best player in the first half.
He was, and that wasn't, to be fair, not many players were good in the first half, let's be brutally honest, but he was the bright spot that we had. Took the shot, that Pickford made a clanger, which was nice to see, wasn't it? And yes, I think for me,
Let's not laugh at Pickford.
I'm going to go for Miguel Almiron. I'm going to go. I know, but I'm going to go for an 8 out of 10 for Miguel Almiron. 2 goals on the day for Mr. Jose Perez. Kyle, he's silencing all the critics at the minute.
He is, and the celebration stands true, covering the lugs and that, but honestly, mate, I thought even in the first half he was doing alright and linking up with Almiron really well. Second half, absolutely fantastic he was. He just keeps raising his own bar. He's going to shoot himself in the foot next season when he's put at the start of the season like he usually is, but
man of the match for me.
Absolutely brilliant he was. He just caused Everton so many problems in that second half, and clinical as can be, honest to God, like, took both really, really well, because like when Pickford made that mistake, but when he makes that mistake, the ball falls to him in the 6-yard box, and you think, where's he going to put it? And he was just so composed, so clinical.
You know that he's not going to miss that now, don't you?
Nah, he was so clinical. I mean, fantastic from Perez. I'd give him a 10.
Yeah, I completely agree, because people forget about the first goal as well. Look at the link-up play with him and Rondon. Absolutely brilliant. You know, they made the 2 centre-halves for Everton like Muppets. Played a lovely when Rondon plays it back and Perez links it over the top for him. It's fantastic. He was brilliant today.
The assist for Rondon as well from Perez. Oh my God.
Well worthy of a 10 out of 10.
If Kevin De Bruyne did that for Manchester City, they'd have it on loop on Sky Sports for about 12 years or something.
Next to him, Solomon Rondon getting another goal. That's his 8th of the season.
Should have left this one to me.
He's a big, beautiful man. We've been talking about this, but yeah, I thought to be honest, I thought first half he was quite poor. Didn't really hold the ball as well. Just everything that was just the game was going past them, to be honest. But second half, everyone put that effort in. Everyone got a bollocking off Rafa at half time, as it seems, and it seemed to have paid dividends. I think Rondon took his goal very, very well, and you have to judge him on that as well. I'm going to give Rondon a 9 for the number 9 out of 10 today. Yeah. First substitution was Paul Dummer, who came on for Jamal Lascelles as a makeshift centre half, as the left centre half. Thought he played okay.
I'm going to give him a 9 for his tackle. Everton came for 1 goal.
Charlison, game changer.
Charlison, that would have been what, 3-0?
3-1 maybe.
3-1. That would have put the game to bed. What a tackle from Dummer. He gets across so quick. I think he's got like 68 pace on FIFA. Honestly, he flipped right there. Like, he up his rating on EA Sports. Like, but brilliant from Dummer. He came on, did really well. I think he staked his claim to play next week against Bournemouth, definitely.
I'll let you continue with Kennedy. You wanted to talk about how well he played. How well did he play?
To be fair, mate, he showed glimpses of the old Kennedy. He played really well. He came on, his effort was there. A couple of tackles. He fell over himself once or twice, but his passing was there. He looked composed. I'd give him a 7, mate. It's probably his best performance for a good long time, and it's good to see the proper Kennedy back in his self.
There's 2 back-to-back home performances for Kennedy where he looks a lot better. Next to him was John Joe Shelvey. John Joe Shelvey, how good was he today?
Yeah.
How good was he? It was lovely to see him back. And he came on, the fans were up for it because I think it was 2-1 at the time. And he just galvanised the midfield. Yeah. He was driving us forward, different to what Key was doing. But you know what? It was absolutely brilliant to see him back, as we've missed him, haven't we?
Well, they said in the preview, Rob said, oh, Shelvey hasn't won a game with the team this season. Well, he has now, so you can pipe down, Rob. Shelvey came on, absolutely brilliant. He did everything Key didn't. Like, Key was poor. Shelvey moved the ball. Even when he first came on, he looked up for it. I think Zuma had the ball midway and he just pressured him. Looked up for it, and I think Shelvey's got to start next week. Absolutely brilliant from Shelvey. And what would you give him, 8 or 9?
I was going to give him an 8 out of 10. I think the former Liverpool man will be very delighted with a 3-2 win over Everton. John Joe Shelvey was brilliant. I think he has to be a candidate to start next week. I think it's nice to see competition for places, though. It wouldn't surprise me if he throws the army in there and Rafa. And talking about Rafa Benitez, what we're giving Rafa, because first half I think a lot of people are looking at 2s, 3s, maybe even 1s out of 10. Yeah. And now you think maybe 10 out of 10 because of the fact we've got back to win 3-2 and the changes that he made a difference. Kyle, this is a difficult one. We'll try and both agree on this one as we normally do. I'm struggling to think of a number, but you've got to think high because we've won the game.
10. Because usually
why 10? Because of that first half as well, though.
Lee always says, "Oh, well, he never changes it. He does this, he does that." He changed it to 4-4-2 this year, and look at the difference. Look at the difference in play. We'll come back from absolutely nothing and get 3 points. So,
do you think the changes solely made the difference, or do you think it was a desire? Do you think it was a bollock and a half time, or?
Yeah, I think the changes he made all the difference. Perez and Almiron were well complemented by Shelvey in the midfield, and Rondon stepped up in the second half as well. So you know what it is. I give him a 10, just because the changes made all the difference.
We'll go 10 out of 10 for Rafa Benitez because it's another Liverpool manager getting a win over Everton. I'm sure Liverpool fans will be delighted to hear about that. Get your comments in below, get your player ratings in below. What did you mark Perez? What did you mark Rondon? Who made the difference for you today? Was it nice to see Shelvey back? Because I thought it was brilliant to see him back.
Let's give Pickford a rating well worded,
Come on, we've got 2 seconds each. I'm going to give Pickford a 1 out of 10.
I'll be generous and I'll give him a 3 because he saved the penalty, but other than that, downhill from there, mate.
Can't give anything more than a 1 for a Mackham, can you?
He's had a shocker today, hasn't he?
Like and subscribe to Newcastle Fans TV, and we'll see you later on.